G'day, welcome one and all to another round of raid tournament battles. So this time it is day one of a 3-star buff booster with no red heroes, which means that the typical appearance rate of Pumpernickel in the 3-star tournaments has been reduced to 0. So this is the team that I have elected to set. I've gone with double Vittoria in the 2 wings. Given her fast speed, she can proc that bleed from the weapon fairly easily from there. On the left flank, I decided to go with Fiona. Now Fiona does a crit buff to all of her allies, and again her speed is reasonably quick. It's in the fast speed bracket as well. Right flank, I went with some healing in Dougal. Dougal does heal over time, which is another buff. I've also got a little bit of that variant bonus going at the moment. I didn't max him out in time for this tournament, but there is some benefit there. And then in the tank position, we have got Leapfrog. I did go with the normal Leapfrog, not the variant mode, just because this version has the crit buff for nearby allies. So again, more buffs, which is just pumping up that buff booster stat. So that's the defense team. It's gone okay so far. I was a little bit worried to start with. We did start off with a loss for a very long while, but we've picked up some wins overnight, and we are sitting in A grade with just about 60% on the dot, which is just into A grade. So yeah, that's my defense team. In terms of the attack, this is what I was thinking of running for a large portion of it, or at least initially. So double Vittoria, I will probably cycle in and out 2 to 3 Vittoria just because of her speed and damage output, and then I'm just going to be layering her with additional buffs. So in this case I've got Famke. Famke is a yellow healer, but most importantly she has removed all buffs from all enemies, but also generates 2 buffs for each of her allies. And then Jonah is pretty quick. He's actually the quickest of the 3-star yellow heroes. And he does get speed broken by the SWAT WP5 as well. He also gives out another buff to himself and nearby allies for that charge generation. So overall we are getting 2 buffs each from Famke and an additional buff from each Jonah. Jonah also serves as a bit of a healer because he's got that armor over time. So let's see how we go with it. So we are facing a yellow tank, so there is the chance that this will go terribly south. But as long as we can make our tile matches onto the right hand side where that Kasumi and Laszlo are, we should be okay, or reasonably okay anyway. So not too worried if Catalina fires once, just because she is a target only hero. If she fires 2 or 3 times, we do get a little bit worried. Let's just wait 1 turn so that we can get some buffs layered up onto the Vittorias before we fire. So you can see there we've got 1 buff on each of them, and it's absolutely decimated. Oh, we got a revive as well. How good. Do we revive again? Nope. Go. Famke, cleanse that buff away and add on the buff to me. Sorry, Famke only does 1 buff. She does an attack debuff to the enemies, is what the other one is. Sorry, I thought it was an attack and a defense boost. I didn't really read that very well, obviously. Cool, so that's the first one done. I think what have we got? I think in this one I'm going to take Famke out just because she is not necessary, because there's not really any buffs on the enemy team. So in her place I'm going to chuck in another Vittoria. So we're going with 3 Vit and then double Jonah. So Jonah's the only one giving me any buffs at this point, and he's also acting as my only source of healing. So if we lose Jonah's, we are going to be in a bit of trouble. So nice little combo there to take out the Vittoria tank. Am facing a little bit more, if I can tap the tile, on this right hand side with the appearance of the Tannenbaum and Catalina costume, or variant Catalina. So the yellow on that side does reduce my damage output from the tiles, but we're at the point where there are only healers left, so we should be reasonably okay for the rest of this fight. I say as Tannenbaum's only buff is absolutely kicking my ass. And so he did that without ever firing Jonah. Ah well. 2 from 2. Alright, what do we got next? Another Vittoria tank. What a surprise. I can see we're going to face a number of these throughout this tournament. Alright. I'm probably going to take the blue grenade just so that I've got my green tiles lined up next, which will also pop the blue grenade that I just made. We do have Vittoria Fire, which is not ideal, but she fortunately does not have the bleed perk going. She doesn't have the bleed weapon equipped, so we are a little bit better off in that damage. So hopefully no revive there, because that would have really been annoying. So you see there the small amount of armor that my Jonah is generating for me, and it does give me a slight improvement in the damage output as well. I need to charge my Jonahs. Get my green grenade or green match made so we can charge Vittoria and then pop all 5 shots into Brianna. Alright, 3 from 3. Might need to work on this team a little bit. It's not quite as destructive as I was hoping it might be. I am going to switch out the Jonahs now just because there is Catalina tank. So I might go Fiona and... Do I want to go Roscoe? Yeah, let's go Roscoe. Alright, so immediately that decision is paying off a little bit because we've got a nice purple match over here and then another purple match onto the tank position. Good decision to switch out for the purples there. Very good decision in the end. And we finished this one off without any trouble. So yeah, good decision there to switch to the purples as the off colour. And now we're going to switch back to the yellows. This is the downside to these 3-star tournaments, is the heroes are usually quite low down in the roster. Alright, go with Iggy this time because Iggy dispels buffs. So it's not actually too much point because there's not really any buffs there. CMYK for blind. Now let's go back to Jonah. Or we could go with Soraya for crit. Healing or crit? Let's go healing just with... No, let's go Soraya. So, decided to go with Soraya because she does DOA 3 and she also does the crit buff to herself and nearby allies. So, we did get some nice yellow tiles, so it wouldn't have mattered exactly who we took. And so now it just comes down to who's going to offer me the best support into this fight. So Jonah might have been better because Jonah does charge faster. Soraya is quite slow. And you can see there we've lost one of our 2 Soraya. So do that, double tap with Vittoria, and finish off with the last one. So, there we have it. I think that's all 5. Yeah, that's all 5 hits. So, not enough to get us up into any decent positioning yet. Again, this is just because I start off at such a low opposition power and opposition points, just because I don't have very many emblems on my heroes. Like, I don't know, I just never seen the value in putting emblems on my 3-star heroes. I've got some on Vittoria, which is, it was enough for me to win every challenge event. Still is enough to win all the challenge events if I choose to, on the 3-star Rarity. But otherwise, I don't know, I just prefer to save my emblems for 5-star heroes. So Anyway, that's really all I got for today. So thanks everyone for joining me. Good luck with your own raid tournament hits, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers. Bye.